Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Dear friends, this is Farooq Mirza, your host from Fourth Pillar TV USA, its program Washington Global Forum. The program has been designed for overseas Pakistani uh, diaspora living in abroad. And uh, we talked on different important topics, especially uh, Pakistan American relationship and changing political scenario in South Asia and in Pakistan on different issues. We also talk a serious talk uh, on different controversies as well. So today we will talk on uh, in Pakistan floods, natural disaster hit very severely, and most of the one of the part in Pakistan is destroyed. Agriculture, property, and the land, and a lot of thousands of people they lost their life, and people they don't have a wet place to live. So since the time the flood destroying Pakistan, the world responded generously, and now the aids coming from not only from United States of America, Europe, Middle East, and a lot of non-governmental organizations they are coming to Pakistan for humanitarian relief. It's a great thing. The first thing there was uh, the people they were talking like the world is not trusting Pakistan, but not only the world first time trusted to the existing government, but also stood by the public at large. So we will talk about the recent Congressional Pakistani Caucus. They are also a part of Indian Caucus. They just arrived in Pakistan with a decent uh, relief fund. And before United States government generously helped Pakistan, uh, help approve IMF loan that will help a lot Pakistan for building uh, development and for the rehabilitation of these flood victims. So we will welcome Professor Dr. Ghulam Mujtaba Saab. Dr. Saab, thank you very much for coming to the show. Uh, the Congressional uh, Caucus, Pakistani Caucus, just arrived, and a lot of people they are taking credit of this trip. So a lot of people they want to know whether the United States government arranged this and approved this trip, or United States Congress approved this trip, or it's just a private trip, and and they have a kind of understanding, and they are also carrying 30 billion. Also, please tell us this check what they will deliver to government of Pakistan. Is in a US $1 million or is in Pakistani rupees.
Thank you very much, Farooq Mirza Saab. It's a pleasure coming back to your program again. Before going into the question and answer session that you asked me just now, I must take the privilege of your program to congratulate the people in Pakistan over cricket match victory that between Pakistan and India game played today. It was marvelous. Pakistan team performed very good, and congratulations to the people of Pakistan on the other side of the Atlantic. Having said that, coming to your actual question, one, is this a private trip? Is this a government sponsored trip? A US government trip? That's the first question. Uh, the implications of this trip, what people like to conclude of the trip, is that the ambassador of the United States welcomed Sheila Jackson Lee at the airport. Let me tell your audience that anyone who is a member of the Congress or a senator even goes on a private visit to any country, the US Embassy will provide protocol to the individual reaching that country. That is a normal diplomatic means and procedures. So the US Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee went to Pakistan irrespective of the fact that whether it was a government sponsored trip or a private trip, she has to be provided the due protocol that is given to the US congressperson. So there is no such thing, any correlation to that, that she was welcomed by the US ambassador means it was a government trip. No. Second thing, any US official who goes on a trip, even on private trip, will be provided US embassy protocol in the country that the person goes. That should be very clear before your audience. Now the second thing is, was this a US trip? In order to find out the reason, the answer to that, go to the website of the State Department, go to the website of US Congress. You do not see any press release that says it was a US government trip or it was official trip, which means we are comfortable to conclude that this is not a government trip. It's not an official trip. It's a trip of an official on a private visit to Pakistan. It is not an official trip of an official based between two governments' diplomatic terms. It is an official going, a US official, US congresswoman going to Pakistan, meeting Pakistani officials on a private trip. Now, the second thing is people who accompanied her. Who are those people? Were they part of the US administration or are they part of the US administration? The answer is no. They are not part of US administration. One of the individuals claims that he is a deputy director of the finance committee of the Democratic Party. When you go to the finance committee,
Dr. Saab, I will interrupt you before we are going to this very important topic. I will ask you another question.
let me finish
Even,
your first question. You had
yeah,
another part of the question,
yeah.
and that question is she taking a check of $30 million to Pakistan on behalf of Biden administration? How can she take a check? Do checks are delivered between a state and a state, handed over in hand to the government? No. The US Treasury in Washington transfers money to the Central Bank of Pakistan, which is the State Bank of Pakistan, if the Biden administration has to give any money to Pakistan. It is not a check that will be delivered by a person, by a dakia or postman to Pakistani government. There is no such thing. So I deny that statement. There is no such thing as hand delivering a check to a government of Pakistan by the government of the US. That is not true. There's no hand delivery of any check here.
Dr. Saab, what is wrong if even it's a private trip or it's a Pakistani congressional group? They are trying to take credit of this trip. Do you think is credit goes to Pakistani American diaspora or the individual? They make efforts, and we should give them a credit in this crisis and a humanitarian crisis. They they travel with a high level congressional like a Sheila Jackson and Tom Swazi. They are very powerful congressmen and women. So what is wrong in this if they are going to Pakistan, or doesn't matter what is the method, uh, what the treasury, true treasury, or but the bottom line, there is a money approved, is sitting in Pakistan, and they will go and they will deliver to it.
Mr. Farooq Mirza, first of all, two things should not be confused here in these statements. First of all, as a Pakistani American belonging to the diaspora here of the Pakistanis, I must say that we appreciate the visit of Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, and other member of the Congress to Pakistan. We welcome that. We consider it a show of solidarity towards Pakistan. And Pakistani community is happy that she has taken a step forward to go and show solidarity with the people of Pakistan at a time where there is natural calamity in the country. That is one thing. Now, the second thing, who is taking a credit or who is doing what, this is a national security question. There is an office that is called Office of Congressional Committee on Ethics. OCE, Office of Congressional Committee on Ethics, has asked so many questions since 1796 till today. The last of which was the longest serving US congressman from Harlem, Charles Rangel, was found guilty of 11 out of 12 charges by the Congressional Committee on Ethics. That was in 2010. The question is someone trying to take a mileage out of this trip? Is this a trip to give mileage to someone? No, this should not happen. And I believe that what I see now is that congressmen and congresswomen going to Pakistan have made a distance between those who tried to take advantage of the trip and claim that they have something to do with the congressional trip. And they have distanced themselves. And I believe that in the meeting with the army chief, which is likely to happen between the congressmen and congresswomen with General Bajwa, you will find a distance between these people who are claiming to be the sponsors of the trip. Yes, this is a private trip, and Sheila Jackson Lee did not want to go to Pakistan without handing over any fund to Pakistan. That was her priority. And based on that, this group involved some people from within the Pakistani doctors community. And there is someone in the doctors community. I am not going to take the name on your live program, but I'm aware of the fact that he has given 30 million rupees as a token of help to the flood victims in Pakistan, and she is going to give that 30 million rupees as a token from that doctor to Pakistan government or
Dr.
Pakistan.
Saab, this is a very sensitive
Yeah,
stuff you are talking about. Are
this,
you sure?
yes, this
But
has come to my
the
knowledge.
way because right now I want to clarify and
No,
I
no.
want to understand for my audience.
Let me finish up this thing.
Yeah.
It has come to our knowledge that 30 million rupees is going to be handed over. We will see that as to what happens now. But the $30 million aid to Pakistan is by the Biden administration. And please,
Biden administration.
yes,
Okay. So
and
they have nothing to do with this one.
let me make it very clear. Let me form a clarity here. The people in Pakistan should understand that the US government executive branch is one part of the government. Then Congress is the legislative section of the government, is the second branch of the government. They make policies for the US government, but they are not involved in the execution of government procedures, which is the administration of Biden. So the administration of Biden is the authority that gives money or grants money to foreign countries at the time of disaster, not the US Congress. This delegation is a US Congress delegation which is more involved in the policy making process. Yes, as a token of government's gesture, if the government desires to bring the congressman on the forefront to deliver something to a country, yes, the government can do that. But I do not see any evidence here that a check will be handed over to Pakistan. It has
Dr. Saab, even some private party or some organization, they collected this money and hand over to Pakistani Congressional Caucus Chairman Sheila Jackson, and and she is trying to take credit, and she will deliver this money to Pakistan. Is still, I think there is nothing wrong in that. But the only controversial thing, they advertised Tahir Javed and other people. They are a part of this delegation. I don't know the government of Pakistan or the military. They scanned or screened them prior to this trip. I don't know how they get involved. Another,
Can I interrupt you here?
yeah,
First question, that is the pertinent question. When a foreign delegation goes, there is a security clearance
yeah.
beforehand. If the name you have given here, the Pakistani names, who accompanied the delegation, were they given security clearance by Pakistan to visit? The answer is no. Now
Doctor
coming
Saab,
to the now
the
coming
doctor, yeah,
now, now
doctor,
coming let me finish up. Now coming to your major question. If there was no security clearance, does that mean that these people will join the congressional delegation in meeting with the army chief? If that is so, they will not be part of the meeting with the army chief.
Doctor Saab, the people they are here in the embassy of Pakistan and other departments, they are responsible for their clearance. They can do anything if they are aware of that. I don't know what is the protocol on both end, but
No,
the
as
one thing, the
as
one
to
thing, let me sir finish. The only thing I'm worried about, the way they are advertising and telling people the United States government approved $30 million. This is the money they are carrying. But now you disclosed, and I'm worried about this controversy will grow. Now we are talking about controversy. Another thing is very, very important. I want to ask you a question. Uh, the Congressional Pakistan Caucus for 160th Congress was announced in Houston by its two co-chair Congressman Sheila Jackson Lee and Congressman Jim uh, uh,
banks.
Banks. Uh, okay, and you can see our ambassador Asad Majid. All and you can see also in the picture visible Tahir Javed. So when I check his site, and he's claiming he's the in charge of this caucus. And when we came to know, I'm really very, very worried about that. Another because all the member of Congressional Pakistani Caucus, they are also a member of Indian caucus formed by the Brad Sherman. The Brad Sherman, he did a lot of bad. He did destroy an image of Pakistan. He discussed Pakistan's local issues in U.S. Congress, and he also discussed Qadiani's issues, and they make it an international issue. And the Brad Sherman also, he formed a Sindh caucus in U.S. Congress, and he's sending all these letters, and he's influenced the U.S. Embassy and consulate back home in Islamabad. So these all Pakistani congressional members, they are also a part of Indian congressional member. So do you think sending that kind of congressional uh, a team that playing on both sides, and while the Pakistan has a, a political conflict with India, and they have a direct engagement on borders, and they had a long life Kashmir issue, and both countries they have petitions in United Nations, and the world knows about that. So, do you think the government of Pakistan will feel comfortable entertaining that group who is also a part of Indian caucus, or what would be the impact of Pak-US relationship here? Because after this humanitarian aid, uh, the relationship should go to a trust on a different level. But if there is a tension, or there is a confusion or controversy, so do you think even it's a private visit, you are talking about the ethics in a Congress? So how it works. You are a part of a foreign committees, and you have a uh, like an eye on these subjects. So how you define this trip?
There is no rocket science, Farooq Mirza Saab. The question is very clear. Would you send up an ambassador if you were Biden, if you were President Biden? Would you nominate a person who is an anti Pakistan, against Pakistan, and favorable to India and the conflict between India and Pakistan to Islamabad? Would you nominate that person to become US ambassador to Islamabad? No. The simple
No,
answer is no. Why? Because that will be antithesis to US friendship with Pakistan. Anyone who is an antithesis in this relationship should not be part of diplomatic efforts in building up or reinforcing relationship between Pakistan and the United States. Pakistan and the United States are very important friends, friendly countries for the region. The geopolitical position of Pakistan is very important for the United States. There is no way that US administration has to involve people or in diplomacy who are antithesis or who are hostile to Pakistan. Any person who has a friendship terms with Pakistan, who has a sympathy for Pakistan, who thinks of Pakistan, who wants to deliver something to Pakistan, can only deliver in this relationship. Any person who is hostile to Pakistan's interest, who is against Kashmir issue, who is against Pakistani national security, is not in favor of US policies in the region. This cannot be done. And if Pakistani Americans who claim to be doing something for Pakistan get involved with these people who are not favorable to Pakistan and involve them in these diplomatic efforts, they are trying to ruin Pakistan's interest with the United States. This goes against the national security interest of Pakistan. And I have no reason to accept this as a Pakistani American that such agenda should come up forward. These people should be taken to task. This goes against the ethics, and the office of Congressional Ethics should be informed on that.
Dr. Saab, Jim Banks, um, he is also one of the founder of Congressional Caucus in Pakistan. And our embassy, they posted all these activity on their official site. Jim Bank, he filed a petition number 160, and you can see on the agenda against uh, the religious organization, and it definitely it goes against Pakistan on terror blames. And he said a lot of things blame, and I think it's on schedule. I don't know what is the status. So he was not friendly to Pakistan or its organization or even the. Later we saw that he started meeting those people who are criminals and convicted in the community. This is one thing. Secondly, I will ask you very straight question. When you are talking about ethics, I want to show you something. These pictures, uh, it's a private apartment. Mr. Tahir Javed, he owned this apartment in Texas somewhere, I don't know. Okay. You can see in these pictures, uh, some faces are visible, and they are Indian diplomats, one of the Rao Khanna. Okay. Dr. Saab, tell me, uh, who is this guy, Tahir Javed? And he raised almost $3 million for Biden, and Biden visited along with his wife in his home, and he created a lot. He earned a lot of respect, and he claimed that he's a deputy finance secretary in the Democrat Party. We when we checked his credential, we couldn't find any uh, title by this name. And secondly, tell me, uh, a businessman or a community individual, he is meeting somewhere in a private apartment with the high ranking congressmen, senators, and diplomats. Even he is meeting with the Indian. powerful political figures. And irony of the matter is that the Rao Khanna joined Pakistani Congressional Caucus. So his Indian community, they sent him a lot of letters, almost 400. Uh, the community activists, they hammered him, and still he said no. He's proud of, he's proud to be a part of Pakistani, this congressional group. So it is good thing. Maybe he has a different mind. Maybe he realized that there is a lot of the human uh, violations, human rights violation in Kashmir, but he never said anything. So, what is the rule of business or ethics? Uh, can an individual like a Tahir Javed, he can meet these people while he's not listed in a U.S. State Department as a in a FARA as a foreign registered agent. He is not a U.S. government federal government employee. He's not an ambassador. He is not holding any title in government of Pakistan or in India. So how it possible that he represent or he do PR to the foreign lands in a secret place? Maybe I don't know how these things work.
Mr. Farooq Mirza, you have asked two questions at one time. Well, first question is about Tahir Javed, and the second question is about Khanna. Let's not mix this up together. So far, Khanna is concerned, if he's interested in building relationship between Pakistan and India, there's nothing wrong with that. If he thinks favorable to Pakistan, there's nothing wrong on that. But the question is diplomacy. In diplomacy, in public service, diplomacy can only be done by those who are sympathetic through actions, and actions are louder than words. What has Khanna contributed so far in Pakistan India relationship, or what has he done for Pakistan on humanitarian ground so far? We don't see anything. So, why was he taken into the Pakistan caucus? There should be some merit on that. I don't see what merit he holds in getting into Pakistani caucus while being part of Indian caucus, and hostilities between two nations exist. We fully support that hostilities should die down. We fully support that people from Pakistan and India should work together to bring a cordial relationship, resolve the problem of Kashmir in accordance to the wishes of the people of Kashmir. And these are pending issues for Pakistan and India. And we have faced so many wars with India. So this is not something which is to be taken lightly. And I don't know why Tahir Javed has involved that. Not only that, the fundamental question here is, where were the people who are sitting in the intelligence services of Pakistan? Where are those people who are sitting on the American desk in the intelligence services of Pakistan? Where is that officer, intelligence and counterintelligence officer, when these things were happening, the pictures that you showed me? Why didn't he ask these questions as to what is happening, what's going on, and where is the defense attache who takes care of the interest of the Pakistan's national security? Where are those reports? And why those reports were subverted or suppressed? Why those reports did not get published? What was going on? Are there people within the system who are supportive of that? No. Going back into historical facts, in 2019, Imran Khan was invited by Sheila Jackson in Raymond Building in July 2019, which is 2 years, 3 years from today. And it was the invitation of Congresswoman Sheila Jackson to Imran Khan. And when you see that picture in Raymond Building, on the right hand side, the very third man next to Shah Mahmud Qureshi is Tahir Javed. So he was again instrumental, which I can see through the pictures. I do not know the details, that he was instrumental in those meetings as well. So he was the one who was very sympathetic to Imran Khan. And what I see here in these things, even with Imran Khan's own statement in Modi's election, where he said that he's praying for Modi's victory. And he did not raise a single voice in the United Nations when India merged the occupied Kashmir under Article 370 into the Indian Kashmir. He did not raise anything in the United Nations Security Council or United Nations itself, General Assembly. So why was that? Was there some underhand dealings going on between Pakistan and India, and that's why this caucus was jointly made? Was there something wrong with the Kashmir issue? Was Kashmir issue sold out? These are questions which are raised by people, and people would like to
Dr.
know.
Saab, in spite of all that PR, promotion, and publicity, and these congressional caucuses, and the powerful congressmen and women, they are on the both aisle, and the Kashmir issue is got intricated, more complicated, and their special status revoked. And now the consequence of that, the diaspora used to protest in front of White House, in front of United Nations, and on Times Square, important in different states now. They hardly uh, they hardly like make their presence 17 to 20 people. And in the same way, you saw um, these people. They were very close to Imran Khan, but Imran Khan, he promoted and marketed his anti-American this stance, and they burned the flags, and even he provoked uh, the PTI local workers to go after Mr. Lu, and they did it. And they also came out on the roads and streets in front of the embassies, and they became the part of this anti-American stance, and so now uh, the relation should be on a different level, but we didn't see anything. So what is the use of all these efforts?
The basic question here is, Mr. Farooq Mirza, the basic question is, who is helping these type of mediocres? Who are helping these type of people who had criminal background in the past within the United States? They are not clear in their own history. And who are the people in the Pakistani intelligence services who are clearing these people and promoting these people and getting these people promoted into Pakistan? Why is that? I would like to ask this question with the ISI. I would like to ask this question with the MI. I would like to ask this question with the IB. I would like to ask this question with the FIA. How did you clear this man? If the man,
Roughly, what kind of criminal record Mr. Tahar has? Can you please give us a little more details?
I think you published that, and there were newspapers from Beaumont which published his entire case, which was I think closed down by the court, and there after some time it could be closed down. So those records are still there in the newspapers, and people
This
know
is
that.
this case was solved far away, and he has no more. They came to some kind of settlement.
Yes.
We are not discussing this anymore, but I will definitely like to discuss one thing. The time since the
No, no,
time
no.
he,
This is not the end of it. Let me continue that.
yeah,
With this background, what is the credential of the man? Is he a foreign policy expert? Is he a diplomat? Has he any qualifications and credentials to claim to work on diplomatic missions and diplomacy, even out of state diplomacy, out of state player diplomacy? He cannot do that. What is his qualification? Do you know that? How much educated is he? Where did he get this money from? How much money he had when he came to this country, and how did he earn those money? These are very fundamental questions to know.
he built almost 12 companies worth like a billions of dollars since the time he came into politics, and he collected a hell of money for a Biden government. Now he is in a good book of government of Pakistan, and especially the diplomats here in US, and they just
I'm concerned with the Pakistan's national security as a Pakistani American as to how such individuals are being placed and recognized in Pakistan. Why no history is being retrieved on them? Why their credentials are checked, not checked? What is the problem there? Why such people are promoted in Pakistan? Even with Imran Khan, I don't understand how he was picked up by these people. I don't understand the man who don't know how to put a shalwar. in the public gathering. He came upside down in the shalwar in the public gathering. He said there were 140,000 prophets who came to this world. He don't know that 124,000 were there. He don't know that the Pakistan when Pakistan was created. He said 40 crore people were there when Pakistan was created, and now that population has come to 24 crore, 22 crores. Is he in his senses? How these people are picked up in Pakistan? We Pakistani Americans would like to know that.
Lots
We
of
are,
these
we
are
are, we are amazed, we are
all the
amazed at the
these
type at the
these
type of system that is prevailing in Pakistan in this diplomacy, which is so sensitive now. This
lots
man,
of lots of this is all a political nonsense. These are all silly things that he's every day. Today he said a very unusual words about the Pakistan and Pakistan army, even the selection of the army chief, and uh, these I think he crossed the line. Every day he crossed line. So this is something is a political nonsense. I will come back to uh, an individual getting so too popular and he's advertising, promoting his brand, kind of brand, and meeting a high-ranking official in his uh, private apartment,
do you,
undocumented. So what is the rule of business? Is it possible anybody can come to that point and raise funds, and after that he started fooling around while his wealth is piling up? So from where he get this money? You just said that he has a hell of money. From is this his private money, or he earned with the honest living, or this money is from the foreign lands, or somewhere he's getting checks from the PR and publicity?
Mr. Farooq Mirza, I'll skip the question, but I'll come to one thing. Is a new Arif Naqvi in the making in Pakistan? What
That's another dangerous thing you are talking about. You want to say that someone uh, could be another like a RF Naqvi. That's what you want to say?
No, I will not take that responsibility. I'll put a disclaimer on that. But let me ask you this question: is Pakistani national security institutions are promoting a new Arif Naqvi now? Are there any ethics in
That's
Pakistan?
how I'm just interested. As a lot of people, they called me today, and they are calling. We are on that. We are checking on different side, but I could not understand what is the rule of business. As far as I know, you need to be registered in a FARA as a foreign registered agent to represent anybody. How it is possible? I can do that if if I will call any congressman and some senator ask question.
Let me put it this way: Pakistan is facing a worst economic situation today. People in Pakistan don't have their homes. 17% of the population has gone homeless because of the disaster in floods and rains. Pakistan is going to face a food shortage very soon. Pakistan would have so many problems coming up. How would you deal with that problem? Are you going to deal with this problem with characters like Arif Naqvi? No. I must tell the people in Pakistan that Arif Naqvi is not a solution to Pakistan's national security problems. In order to deal with Pakistan's economy, Pakistani institutions have to come to senses. And how? They have to bring Pakistan's looted wealth back to the country. Stop doing business with people who are dishonest, who are not sincere to Pakistan, who are sincere to their own persons to promote their personalities overseas and get some benefit, monetary benefit overseas. We want to reject such type of characters in Pakistan. The moment we reject such characters, the incompetent, the inept, the uneducated, the lesser educated, and bring the right competent people in Pakistan, those who matter for the society, those who have honesty on their back, those who are educated in the society. Are they deficient in Pakistan? No, there are people.
Dr. Saab, if
Pakistan has been brought to a level where those people who are competent people have been placed out of place. are not part of the society, are
Doctor
not
Saab,
part of the government, are
doc,
not part of the business. This
Doctor Saab, Doctor Saab, Doctor Saab, if gold rush, what shall iron do? You tell me he is somebody's baby and he's somebody's. Uh, he's in a good book of some people. They are making him a brand. What you can do?
no, we can do, because I think General Bajwa is the right choice of the people of Pakistan at this point. He is going in the right direction, and I would suggest General Bajwa to take strong measures now, now or never. They have to take a measure now. Pakistan's armed forces and Pakistan's national security institutions have to come up, rise to the occasion, and face these things and bring the right leadership in Pakistan. Let the right leadership be promoted. These people who are corrupt, dishonest, changing names and changing faces are not going to help Pakistan. This is the same man who brought Imran Khan to Raymond building. This is the same man who wants to meet Shahbaz Sharif with the same person. What is going on in Pakistan? These people are the same people who are the dishonest in the society and have been repeatedly brought by Pakistan. Who is giving security clearance to these people? How come these people have access to so many people? What is the common issue with them? What is the common
Doctor Saab,
interest?
Doctor Saab, the what I suggest that they need to look into foreign office, our foreign ministries,
They're not performing. Our diplomats are not performing. They
they
are
are
going to put off.
especially the U.S. station, uh, the diplomacy,
It's the most important session,
the,
and
diplo, the,
the
the
performances.
Imran Khan himself in United Nations during the press briefing, he said that diplomacy is not working. And you know that the entire team living here is totally a flopped, and they are untrained. They don't know what direction they should go there. You know that there are brilliant diaspora, brilliant, highly educated, very
Absolutely, yes,
and
yes.
people they are going on one specific group and they are causing
Let
controversies.
me let me let me tell your audience. Pakistani diaspora, the Pakistani Americans in American society are the top 5% of American society. They are
Society.
the highest taxpayers. My own kids, they're the top 5% of the tax paying bracket in the United States. Come on. You don't want to pick up the right people? You want to pick up these people who have earned money through foul means, who are trying to defame Pakistan, who don't know the ethics and norms of business and diplomacy? Are these the people qualified to run Pakistan's diplomacy in a country like United States? This is something wrong going on with Pakistan's national security. Someone is playing with Pakistan's national security. This should be stopped right then and there. And General Bajwa should take a stand now.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saab. Time is up. Folks, uh, we this is our one of the opinion debate, and the people they can send us their point of view, and we will post on
And
our
you can
site.
disagree on that, what has been
And
said.
we also send a, a series of questions to head of this the trip going to Pakistan. We did not receive any response so far, so we will wait for that. We invite them, uh, especially Tahir Javed. He can come and join us in our next show, and we will give him a space. We will ask him question. He can also give a talk to our audience, and he can better um, explain what exactly he's doing and on whom behalf and what is his purpose and something about his business. A lot of questions we want to ask him. So our platform is ready. He can come anytime. He can call us, and we will publish and post, and we will give him a space. Secondly, the Pakistan-U.S. relationship, especially the American interest in Pakistan and the Pakistan interest in USA is very important. The relationship should be based on the trust, based on a strong relationship. These kinds of controversies and stupidity and nonsense, I think there is no space of that. Now we will come to that point. The entire focus should be on a humanitarian and rehabilitation in Pakistan, and we thankful to the rest of the world, especially United States of America. They generously stood by Pakistani public and Pakistani government, and General Bajwa played a very important role building Pak-US relationship. I believe he will listen to us and our concern. Uh, our concern or our this dialogue is not against any individual or any group. It is purely entirely is for the general public to understand. So we will come back for another topic in a couple of days. So now, Pakistan, Zindabad.